I'm Cubeoid, and this is my tutorial series on ChromatiCraft. This is episode 1, and this episode will be mostly focused on Worldgen, and I kind of explain some progression and some other things, but this episode's on Worldgen, and starting the mod. So when you start the mod, you will have one of these in your inventory, usually. This is called the ChromatiCraft. The thing that says about the pages I'll explain in a second. But first I'll explain some stuff about this mod before I get into it. The ChromatiCraft is a magic mod created by the same person that made RotaryCraft, ReactorCraft, and all that stuff. Unfortunately, it is still in 1.710, so that's kind of sad that it's not in any of the later Minecraft versions, but there's probably reasons. But other than that, it is a fairly good mod. Not fairly good, it's a great mod. It's a very in-depth mod. There's lots to do. So the mod ChromatiCraft, it's very progression based. Like, you can't just skip to the highest stuff. You must. It's not like RotaryCraft, where RotaryCraft kind of it will be really hard, but it is possible to almost skip to the end game stuff in RotaryCraft. But in ChromatiCraft, it's literally impossible because you have specific tasks you need to do before you unlock certain recipes and stuff. So a good example of this is this wall right here with the stone stuff. This wall is actually full of ores. Every single block of this is one of the ores from the mod. And same with here. See this? There are flowers here. These flowers you can see. I'll explain that thing in a second. But you can see they're here. You can see the tooltip pops up on the side, except it's all kind of jumbled. Same with this stone here. And mining it will just give you cobblestone until you have the proper progression to allow you to have access to it. So I'll show you the again. You start off with this ChromatiCraft. You can craft it, but that's for the next episode. Just be very careful with it. Do not lose this. Do not lose this book, especially once you start getting your info fragments putting into it. Once you start getting your fragments put into it, do not lose the book, or you will start to have issues. Because if you have a bunch of fragments in it, I'll explain what I mean by fragments in a couple minutes. But if you have fragments in it, or you have pages in it, and you lose it, those pages are lost. And by getting info fragments back again, you may not be able to get some of those info fragments back, and that kind of sucks. But yeah, so if you open the book, you can see here you have this kind of area. You can navigate around this area using WASD or arrow keys. Holding shift makes it go faster. Then you have a couple other tabs. So over here, this sets the book to recipe, but you don't have anything in it yet, so that's fine. You have this progression tab, which is what I meant by progression. So you can see it has a bunch of stuff here. I'll explain some of that later. Then over here you have recovery. I don't know what to do here. Actually, the thing I just thought about this right now. The thing I said earlier about if you lose your book with fragments in it, you might be able to recover them some way here. Just kind of guess. It says recovery. Then here, notebook, you can literally just add notes. Yep. So that's the book. Here you move around WASD. You can't drag it, but holding shift does make it go faster. How do I explain this? You have to go and do certain things around the world, such as this. So to unlock this, you have to kill a hostile monster. Then you can see these two lines down here. By killing that, that'll unlock this one. So and to unlock this one, it also requires this one, and to unlock this one, it requires this one, and to unlock that one, it requires this one, and all this stuff. Like this one, you gotta look at bedrock, but I'll get more in depth in that next episode. This episode's mostly going to be focused on Worldgen. That's just kind of a thing that you need to know. I'll explain some. Actually, no, I'll explain some of that right now. Some stuff. So the force. So before I talk about that, the ChromatiCraft has a lot of interactions with different mods, such as the Forced Realm one. This one doesn't unlock anything. As you see, it doesn't have any lines coming off of it. The ones with no lines coming off of them are optional, pretty much. But they will kind of tell you about some stuff. But this will only appear if you have the Twilight Forest mod installed. This you have to go to one of the biomes. This you have to look at a liquid you can find. This one you have to look at the crystals, beehives. Where is it? This one, wait. Look at this guy. Funny. But yeah, so like this one you gotta find underground stuff. This one you gotta look at the rainbow trees. But yeah. So yeah, so that's the kind of how the progression works. Please mind this thing. The clouds in the sky are because of the I have Weather 2 installed. You can see there's some clouds there, good. And the wind does affect ChromatiCraft particles, as you can see. I'll explain these things in a second. Not a second, probably a couple 5 minutes or whatever. But info fragments. These are very important. This is what I meant by fragments. So these are fragments, pages, whatever you want to call them. You need them to do things. You can't do stuff in the mod unless you have the fragment for it unlocked in your Chromic Lexicon. This book, again, is very special. Keep it. Same with these. Every single info fragment you find, you will want to keep. So you will find them. Just they generate as loot in the world. You can just find them in chests and whatever, strongholds, mine shafts, villages sometimes. But you find most of them in the structures that ChromatiCraft spawns. But I will be getting into that near sometime later in the episode. Yeah. So pretty much, you take them. You take them so you find them in your chest, and they all start off as blank. But as soon as you move it into your inventory, they will turn into something. And you can see a little tune will play, and you get something in there, in the top corner. Then another one. So you see we have these 3 fragments. So this one is the resources info fragment. So this fragment is about fragments. This fragment is about the elemental manipulator, and this one's about the casting table. And then if we take this last one here, oh, it stayed blank, and that's because without getting any progression, you will be able to get just these 3. Holding shift does kind of make them go full screen. You'll only be able to get these 3 fragments without getting any progression. Getting progression, the more progression you have, so certain progressions will unlock info fragments. So, and the info fragments are having the info fragment unlocked allows you to do stuff. And so right-clicking opens the Chromic Lexicon normally, but holding shift and right-click before I do that, I'll show you what you start off. So it has this getting started section. You can pause the video and read this if you feel like it. Then you also have the lexicon. You can pause the video and read this if you also feel like it. And when you exit out of the book, you can see it goes back to the starting page. If on the corner here you see this thing that says save and exit, click that. Next time you open the book, it will be on this page. But if you exit by clicking the escape button or clicking this X, it'll bring you back. So if you're trying to like build a multi-block, you need to constantly look at your book. Don't escape key, don't click the X. Always make sure to click the save and exit button if you want to keep the book on a page. But if you don't, just feel free to click the escape button. Yeah. So how to put the info fragments in? You hold Shift and right-click your lexicon. You can see here. Don't just take them and put them in like that. I suggest you Shift right-click them in because they all kind of have their specific spots they're supposed to be in. So I suggest you Shift right-click, Shift click them in. Not Shift right-click, Shift whatever. You know what I mean. Yeah. So because you don't have the proper progression, and you will find sometimes you won't have enough progression and you'll get a lot of info fragments, I suggest building a storage drawer, using the storage drawers mod or another mod just like it to store your info fragments and the blank ones into a this is an infinite one, so I can pull as many as I want out of here. The info fragments don't stack. Yep. So you can see we put those in the book now. Well, when we open the book, look, here they are in the book. Then you can see there's some stuff here. This lumen reception range is something I'll explain way later on into this tutorial series, but you can pause the video and read this if you so do desire. I'll talk about this, the casting table and the elemental manipulator next episode, but here, so you can see, you can pause video, read this if you want. I'll also open this one. You can pause video and read this as well. Okay. So that is kind of the progression info fragment thing. So some other mod interactions. The rainbow tree, you can find these around the world. These are the rainbow colored trees. They can be any color. As you can see, there's the leaves, all the saplings. I'll go more in depth with them later, but they can spawn with any type of wood. In this case, this one spawned with sorting wood. These are the colored trees. These are the rainbow trees. As you can see, they're very rainbow. Their bases can also be anything. Yep. So, okay. More mod interactions. Never mind this. These hives, they usually spawn with this crystal on top. 1 second. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I meant to do the crystals later, but these are crystals. You can see there's a bunch of different colors with them. I have them all set up there. I meant to show you the crystal progression right there, but I guess we're going off track a little bit. These hives normally spawn with the crystal on top, but these hives are useless unless you have forestry installed. Other mods. So ChromatiCraft does not work the best with shaders for a couple reasons. You know what? I'll just turn the shaders on now, and you can see what I mean by that. Okay, the shaders are on, and it looks all good until you look at some things. These are called warp nodes. They spawn way in the sky. Well, problem with shaders is you can't see particle effects against the sky. So I'm looking right at the warp nexus right now. You can't see it at all. Like what is this? Like, yeah, it doesn't look that good. Like this, there it goes. You can't. Yeah. Please excuse the completely trash frame rate. The game doesn't know what to do with itself right now. But you see, like, it's not that good. Yeah. So this goes for other particle effects, so not just ChromatiCraft, Thermocraft, stuff like that. It has its issues with it. So I'm gonna go turn the shaders off right now, and I can get my lovely FPS back. Okay, the shaders are off, and as you can see, textures are all nice again. I mean, not textures, particle effects are going properly again. Yeah, please ignore that thing I created. But yeah, so textures working again. Particle effects working again. Frame rate working again. Yep. I'm actually going to, you know what, I don't need that for many reasons. Yep. So before I head on talking about, I'll show something about the progression. I'll show some more stuff about progressions and how you can kind of cheat progression if you want to do stuff in creative mode. But there's one other mod interaction I think should be shown off, and this is with the colored light mod. And this isn't a well-known mod. It's kind of glitchy because you have to actually take Optifine out of your mod folder because it doesn't work together. But I'm gonna do that and restart my Minecraft. So once I do that, I'll be back. Okay, so the colored light mod is on now. I don't know, what's my frame rate at? Oh yeah, F1's on. Oh dear, no, what just happened? Never mind that. But yeah, you can clearly see the colored lights mod, and you can see the difference it makes. There's colors. I just tried to use the zoom feature of Optifine and almost forgot, but you can see there's colored light now. There's not much more. There's not really more to describe it as. But you can see there's lighting glitches everywhere you look. They're everywhere, which is kind of a shame because it's so cool to. You go up to something and it's like there's color. The light is colored. But yeah, a lot of these plants actually have different colored lights they emit. Let me see if I can get them all to. I'm just right clicking on them, and it kind of activates their. It just kind of updates them. Again, kind of glitchy. But you can see here it is a mod interaction, so I'm showing it, and I'm going to quickly turn this off because I don't like lighting glitches. That's just it. That's very blue. But yep, so their ChromatiCraft does have interaction with oh, I fell off. With the colored lights mod, so that's cool. And it hasn't gone away yet. I think I broke that. Oh no, it's moving now. Never mind. But yeah, so I'm going to reinstall Optifine and be right back. So as you can see, the colored lights mod is turned off. Yep, no landing glitches. But yep, so now I can get into some more stuff. So I was going to say about the progression. So there is a command you can use to trick the progression to make it to turn all of to give you all of it or get rid of all of it. So you want ChromaProg, and then if you wanted to give it to a player other than yourself, you'd put the player name here. But if you're not, then you can just put maximize all, and then give it a second, let it do its thing. There it goes. Now you can see the wall that was blank stone stuff before is much more than first met the eye, and you can see the kind of tip on the side is now fully filled out. Same with these flowers. You can see they're all here now. But yeah. So, and let's say you wanted to get rid of it all. Let me show you with the Chromatic Lexicon. Go over here to progress. You can see all of it's filled out. Every single piece is filled out. Now just get rid of that. Then if you want to reset it, just take maximize, get rid of it, and put reset, and then enter. This one's much shorter, and you can see the wall's blank again. And again, we can grab our first 3 fragments. So, okay, so I was gonna show earlier about these crystals here. So these crystals can be found throughout the world. They're usually called cave crystals, but looking right at one will give you the progression called tangible energy. Yeah, I can show you it. I missed it. Where is it? Here it is. Tangible energy. So crystal energy is mostly an ethereal, intangible force. However, when concentrated, it may have a physical manifestation. Sure enough, you have found places where crystal energy has coalesced and formed regular glassy formations, ones that radiate the effects of their element. So these white ones here, I'll show you what it means by radiate effects, but yeah. So, and by getting that progression, you can now have an extra info fragment, and you can see no more, you just get crystals. Tangible energy gives you crystals. That's it. And I'll show you it here. So you can read this if you pause the video. Okay. Wind's picking up. Oh, just changed direction. Yeah. So what was he going to talk about? Ah, yes, the crystals. So you will want to you can just break them. So you can just break them, and just like this, and it can give you anywhere between like 8. I've gotten 10, I think, before from breaking it, or I don't know, 8 maybe the max you can get. But using a pickaxe, using a fortune pickaxe will probably be your best. Will be best for you. So if you want to get more than just that, then using a fortune pickaxe will of course yield you much more. But if you really want to use these crystals to their full potential, then use a silk touch, and you can bring them to wherever you want. I'm going to need these ethanol crystals. You know what? I can just take half of them. That'll be fine. Yes, so the crystal shards that these drop, there's... I thought I forgot to replace that purple one and knocked it out earlier, but never mind. So if you've watched any of my RotaCraft tutorials, you know this is the grinder. I don't have the texture pack for RotaCraft on now, but that's fine. If you really want to use these things, sorry about the noise. I didn't put wool over the gasoline engine just because, but it should be fine. And you can hear the crystals making their dinging noise, the XP noise. What you want to do is you want to take your crystal, you want to put it in there. This will give you the maximum amount of crystal shards possible per crystal. There you are. So 18. you'll get 18 per crystal in the grinder. Okay, stop that. Go back into creative mode. Okay, so, and what the lexicon said earlier about the never mind. I'll say that. So yeah, so that's the crystals. So you can use the grinder to get the most fortune if you want to get a bit more. But a lot of these crystals, there's a very specific reason you will want to move them. Each of these crystals has their own special potion effect they give in a 4-block range. So some of them, like this black one, I believe, I don't know where I saw it, but I saw somewhere that this black one like disorientates mobs. So I don't really know what that means, but I think it like maybe stops mobs from following you. I don't know, but yeah. So I'm going to be basing the effects off of what they do to the player. So the black one does nothing. The red one gives you resistance. Green gives you nothing. The brown one does something special. It actually gives you... Come on, show it. Come on, show up. I know you can. It doesn't want you. So this brown one gives you saturation. So standing near this brown one, pretty much it refills your hunger bar. This blue one gives you night vision. This purple one does something special. It actually gives you XP. So again, that's what you about the silk touch pickaxe. What you can do is you can silk touch these things and bring them back to your base and just kind of make a whole entire room of them. And well, you might be thinking what I'm thinking, and you can just go inside the room and feel the experience. And this experience will be vital to a later in the mod. Just sit have that many crystals. Just kind of sit AFK for like some time while you're doing something. Come back and you will have so much experience. So very useful. Okay, back to the crystal effects. So the cyan one gives you water breathing. Light gray does nothing. Gray does nothing. Pink gives you strength. Light green gives you jump boost. This one gives you haste. And you can all hear they all have their own little sound, so they all have their own kind of pitch. So you can probably bang out a tune on the crystals. So yeah, yellow one's haste, this one's speed, this one, the magenta one, is regeneration, the orange one gives you fire resistance, and this white one does something special. If I just grab this potion of poison and drink it, you can see I have poison for about 2 minutes. But if I walk close to the white crystal, it's gone. But if I have something like fire resistance, it's not gone. So the white crystal does something special, in which what it does is it pretty much it clears negative effects. Negative potion effects are removed by it. And so if you read the entry in the book here, you can see it says something about the corrupting influence of the nether. Well, if we just jump to the nether here, loading time should not be that long at all. I could cut it out, but I'm not, because the loading time is like less than a second. The crystals here have pretty much, you can say they have negative effects. So the black crystal, it just gives you wither. This red one just hurts you. Standing near the red crystal just, it inflicts damage. It hurts. Okay, but you can stand near this, it just hurts you. The green one gives you poison. The brown one gives you nausea. The blue one gives you still gives you night vision, except the night vision it gives you is not is the flashy kind, and it's just kind of annoying. This one does something special. In the nether, the purple crystal actually steals experience. It doesn't slowly steal it, it just steals levels of experience. Cyan one gives you hunger. Light gray gives you weakness. This one, the gray one, gives you blindness. The pink one gives you nothing. This one, it says jump boost, but when you jump, nothing. So you are unable to jump with the green one. So some zombie pigmen are chasing you. That might be a bit of an issue. You can run real fast though if you're spamming the spacebar. The yellow one gives you mining fatigue. The blue one gives you slowness. Not blue, light blue. Magenta gives you nothing. The orange one just kind of sets you on fire. And the white one seems to do nothing. And no, it doesn't remove effects. See? Like, if I get wither, you can see. It doesn't remove effects. So those are crystals in the nether. Now back to the overworld. Again, loading time should only be a second. There we are. So those are the the cave crystals, or whatever you want to call them. I can be in creative mode now. So if you see here, you remember this one here was stone. Well, by getting the tangible energy progression, where you look at the crystal, it unlocks this, which is energized rock, and it unlocks this flower, which is the aura bloom. Now you can see these flowers here. These are the ones that don't need to be unlocked by progression. So the lumen root, the glowing daisy, the aura ivy, the void reeds, the ether berries, resonant clover, lumilotus, and enderflower can all be put into grinders to get breaking them normally will give you one of their dust or whatever they give you. Breaking them with a fortune pickaxe does not do anything, but they can be cut and moved with shears. But for these, they can be put into the grinder to get more. But then the ones that require to be unlocked by doing certain progressions can give you more by using a fortune pickaxe, and can be moved around by using shears. This one does something special with this that will be explained later on in the episode. So the colored trees here, they're 16 different colors, all corresponding to the Minecraft dyes, in which when breaking their leaves they have a chance to give you the dye of their color, as well as with these berries. And eating these berries, just kind of not eat them and create. Oh, I almost did a stupid. But eating them gives you an effect called here, I'll show it to you. They take a long time to eat, but you get an effect called Lumaria, and you kind of shoot little colored specks out of your butt, so that's pretty good. And they also have the chance to drop the sapling, but like ones like the white one can give you boat meal, and the blue one just gives you lapis, so you can literally farm lapis with a tree. Yep. And this, so first, before I go into that, the colored trees, you can just find them around the world. You can see there's one just over there, the red one. You can just find them around, but you can find them in large numbers in the rainbow forest. I'll be showing off that biome in a bit. So this is a rainbow tree. They're made of rainbow leaves. Breaking the rainbow leaves has a chance of giving you its sapling. To grow this tree, you need to place 4 of the saplings in a square and bone meal them, or let them grow. Breaking these trees, the colored trees, has a chance of giving you a sapling for one of the rainbow trees, I believe. And again, their bases I believe I said this earlier, the base of the tree can be any type of wood in game, whether it be from a mod or not. And yep, so breaking the leaves can give you many things, including golden apples, enchanted golden apples, any type of dye. But they can also spawn little ball lightnings. Yep, and they're very rare. They can be found around the world, but they're very rare. So this thing here is a pylon. That's a ball lightning. And they're just kind of produced by pylons and some trees. And some certain blocks or doing certain things in the mod will cause the ball lightnings to appear. And they don't do anything except make sounds and float around. But the pylons, so they are found around the world. They give you kind of a sparkly effect around the screen, and they have these oh, you can see another one just kind of formed here, and you can see them sharing their energy, the two of them. Wonder if they're going to do it again. I can show you about the third one, but that'll show you a better example of them sharing energy. But yep, so there's 16 different colors of pylon. You can see I have put all of them over there, and they've created this mess because the different colors of pylons shoot at the different colors of ball lightning. But yeah, so you can get a progression by going up and staring directly at that ball at the top, which I will talk about in a minute. But you can see over here there's a naturally spawned one in. I spawned that one in myself. But you can see this pollen right here is green, and please ignore that. That is special. But if I go in survival, it should zap me, and you will see. Come on, standing here. Recognize me. Notice me. Oh, it just made a ball lightning. Come on, shoot me. I know you're capable of doing it. Oh, there it goes. And this one gives you poison 3, so it's very capable of killing you very quickly. So, yeah, these things are kind of dangerous, especially these green ones. But again, you saw looking there. Looking at them gives you the energy beacon progression, and you learn the type of crystal energy it is. But to do that, you have to get up to the top ball. That one was on a spawn kind of into the cliff, but ones that spawn open like this are hard to get to. But this one, the magenta one, is special because when it zaps you, it gives you regeneration. You can see after getting the pylon, the energy beacons one, getting zapped by it will give you the damaging discharge one. So I can show you both of them there. You can see this energy beacon, so you can read this, but you can see after we unlocked that, we were unable to unlock this one. So damaging discharge. Pylons seem friendly, are they? Your idea of friendly is discharge to the face, yes. This one, it gives you regeneration 3 when it zaps you, so it can't kill you unless you're at very, very low health, in which case it's kind of funny when it kills you. But yeah. So you can see it, you can build like a dirt staircase up to the top. When it kills you, in chat it actually says whatever your player name is, healed so quickly they died. So when I first saw that, I found that kind of funny. You can see at some point here we unlocked this. This is called the Radiance Bush. They can be found in deserts and stuff like that. This flower, the Aura Bloom, can just be found around. We have not unlocked any more ores, but let's see if we have any more fragments we can get. So getting the unlocking the energy beacons one, of course, gave us this pylons one. So you can see it here. So at points where energy field seems to be strongest, you tend to find dark stone structures adorned with sparkling aura and topped with a beacon that visibly and audibly radiates raw power. Unfiltered and uncontained, they seem too powerful and unstable. A lesson you quickly learned, which to be easily used, but you suspect that later on they will be the key components to your research. Yeah, so I'll show you all the different colors here. Oh, creator mode, daytime. So you can see there's the black pylon, and all the different colors of energy have their own name and symbol. So I'll show those next episode, because this episode's going to be a long one. I still have more to go. But yeah, you can see all the colors of the crystals. They have their own type of pylon. And you can see they shoot at each other's ball lightning. So you can see the white one shooting at that ball lightning, and you can see that orange one just shared its energy with that white one over there. So you can see when they share energy, they pretty much switch color. So you can see it just happened there. See the yellow and white and brown one there just switched. So yeah, I'll get to this in a minute. What next? So I've covered the pylons and stuff like that. Crystal effects, nether effects, that stuff. Aha, biomes. There are many biomes in this mod. The biomes are very important, yet they're kind of rare. But just come over here. So there's 3 types of biomes. There's the Ender Forest, there's the Rainbow Forest, and there's the Luminous Cliffs. I really like the Luminous Cliffs, and I think you'll see why. But the Ender Forest, here we go. So it's kind of like a normal forest, except it has some special flowers in it. So it has the resonant clover and the ender flowers, and as well as you can find these pools of a resonant ender. And stepping in them teleports you. You will need this stuff for later. Those of you watching this video who are well educated in Minecraft mods will realize that resonant ender is from thermal expansion, and you're correct. If you have thermal expansion installed, it replaces the ChromatiCraft stuff that normally spawns in with that stuff, but they do the exact same thing. And for some reason, scooping up the resonant ender will give you a it gives you, for some reason, liquefied ender, but pouring down the liquefied ender literally gives you resonant ender. So they all do the same thing. I've tested them with the multi-blocks you can build using it. It does the same thing, except this one teleports you, and this one kind of shoots you off, including particle effects from blocks. So you can see they shoot around, and I find that funny, including items. Boing. But yeah, so the Ender Forest, it's a fairly dense forest with oak and birch tree, as well as the multicolored trees. Rivers, pylons, that stuff can spawn. You can see there's a gray pylon here. But yeah, so again, breaking resonant clover will give you this energetic essence. Breaking the ender flower will give you mode of dust. They can be transplanted or moved around using shears, but using a fortune pickaxe will not yield you any greater results than just normally breaking them. So instead of using that, put them inside a RoduCraft grinder and you will get 3 dust instead of the 1, so that's much better. Okay, so back we go. I think that was everything. Rainbow Forest. As soon as you enter the Rainbow Forest biome, you will get a progression. So you can see there, Magical Forest. I'm going to go and get myself some info fragments. So yeah, we don't have any new info fragments. So you can see the Rainbow Forest is heavily populated with these multicolored trees. And then you can see the rainbow trees spawn much more frequently in here. You can see this, but just take my word for it, they do. Yep. As well as in here you can find these little flowers. Again, 16 different colors of the flower. All related to Minecraft dyes. Then the trees can be found here. I already said that. The thing that I find funny is that the item, the rainbow leaf, changes color depending where you stand, but so does the item in the frame. So I kind of like that. As well as if you have it enabled on the config file, which I will show you in a minute, these ethereal blooms will spawn around. These are from ChromatiCraft. When I was before at the very start of this video, when I was talking about mod interactions, I should have showed something with biomes aplenty, but why not now? So if any of you have watched my kind of let's play series for my kind of mod pack I have assembled by myself, you may have noticed that some of the ChromatiCraft dimension biomes had spawned in the real world, not the real world, in the overworld. I have fixed that problem. I will show you how to fix that problem. You want to go into the config file. If I can get it up, it should be on screen now. So, oh, there it is. I just opened the config file up on my screen and it was invisible, but it's open now. So you can see here, there's these biome IDs. The problem with biomes aplenty and ChromatiCraft have similar biome IDs, so just change these all to a number. So normally they're like 47 or something like that. Just put a 2 in front. That's what I did. And down here you can see the biome IDs. Just change these all to large numbers. Try not to make them too crazy, but like in the 200s should be fine. I don't think biomes aplenty goes up there. But yeah, doing that, it fixed it for me, and they still spawn just fine. So it fixed it. There's some other stuff in here, like you can choose allow danger in rainbow forests. So that's one thing with the rainbow forest mobs. What's it called again? Hostile mobs cannot spawn there. Structure bypass passwords is something special. But yeah, so you can see there's some stuff here, like you can change the difficulty of the structures in the you know what, that's something for way later. But you can, like, for the Ender Forest biome, you can change the spawn weight, stuff like that. Where was it? I saw it around here somewhere, and rainbow, where is it? Rainbow trees spread rainbow forest. It's on true, but that rainbow tree I have back there in the kind of the main tutorial area has not spread any rainbow forest. Yep, so that's kind of the config. You can look through this yourself. Download for the mod will be in this. It will be in the description. Just kind of a reminder that ChromatiCraft requires Dragon AIP to function. That can be found on the mod creators page who made this. Okay, so back to the mod tutorial. Get rid of the config file. It should be gone now. Yep, so as well as in the Rainbow Forest biome, you can find sparkling variants of these blocks. So there's sparkling dirt, sparkling sand, sparkling clay, sparkling cobblestone, sparkling stone, sparkling clay. I have found all of these except the cobblestone. They just kind of spawn around. They're kind of rare, but they exist. They spawn around. Yep. So I haven't gone out of my way to go find some, but just trust me, they're there. Okay, now on to my favorite biome, the luminous cliffs biome. Now this biome beholds some stuff you will want. So this biome, as you can see, it's very near the rainbow forest. Not in your world. They're kind of rare. I'm going to show you how to find biomes. So before I showed you the command for giving yourself progression, there is a biome. There's a way you can find biome IDs. So you pretty much want to slash find biome, and then you want to put the ID of whatever the biome is. So for for like the and a forest, which is 247, type 247 and let it go so it searches that range. Oh, it searches the next one. There it goes. I found a bunch of them within 8,000 blocks of me. And it just gives you coordinates. I believe they're ranged from closest to farthest. But like if you are having a real hard time in survival trying to find some of these biomes, using the cheaty open to land way of, you pretty much open to land, change this to on, then start the land world, and you will now have access to cheats until your game is, until you exit and re-enter the world. But then you can kind of use that command to direct yourself in the general direction of the biome you wish to find. Yeah, so what else about this biome? So you can see this is the only place where you can find these glowing daisies and these what are they called again? These lumen roots. Ooh, this is a long one. And as well as you can find these luma fogs. Don't punch these things. They will gang up on you and they will destroy you. Yep. So hoeing the ground in this biome actually gives you this cliff farmland stuff. It cannot be picked up, but you can grow crops in it, and it doesn't require water. But yeah, so these lumen roots, I'll show you some more of this. So you can see it's these cave stuff, and I have, while flying around in this biome, I have heard this weird kind of tune. It's when I fly under here. I wonder if I can get it to activate. Oh, there it is. Listen. Wait. I don't even know where it, I cannot find a way to recreate it happening. It just sort of happens. But you can see I got one of these fertility seeds. So these fertility seeds are dropped by these lumen roots, and they do something special. Let me just come back up here. So when they fall on the ground, so if you come over to this piece of dirt, there. So you can see it makes a little green particle effect, and yeah. So they stack in max of 8, and they also speed up the growth of crops. There you go, see? And again, breaking glowing daisies or lumen root has a chance of giving you glowstone. It's not a 100% chance every time, but putting it in the grinder will yield you 3 glowstone every time. Okay, so now, despite the cool little sound you hear sometimes while flying through here, there's many other things this biome yields, such as, well, the flowers and stuff, and the cool cliffs. Pylons can also spawn up here, but these floating islands have usually rare ores. So you can see there's some redstone there. Over here we got some gold and diamonds, so they can just, you find some rare materials up here. But I have found these, I don't know what they are. Where's one? There's one just around here. There's one. And it's gone. Ah, there it is. So these lumen nodes, I have tried everything with these. I cannot figure out what they're for. They're just around. You can just, they're everywhere. You see one there, one over there. They're everywhere. But another thing that's more important than the other stuff in this biome is there's a special liquid that you will need for later. And to find that, you'll want to find yourself a cave. Now, if you've come into this cave, you'll see there's many things, including these piezo crystals. Now, these things, they don't do anything. They cannot be used for anything. But stepping on them makes a nice little dinging sound and they turn blue. But breaking them will yield you nothing but cobblestone. Yeah. So, and they're just kind of around. So if I get myself a torch, you can see that they're just in the caves. See, like there's some here. You can see there's one of the cave crystals. There's a water vent. But you can see they're just kind of around here, just doing their own thing. You can see the lumen roots and stuff spawn in the cave. Yep. But unfortunately, there was none of that liquid in here. So I can actually, instead of flying back up, I can just do this. There. So you can see these piezo crystals. While digging around in the Worldgen menu here, I have found the cliffstone you can see is what makes up the floating islands, but I also found this cliff tile.dirt.name as well as this cliff grass block. I can only assume they're meant to be stacked up like this, but apparently this and this do not seem to be used. Again, I don't know what these lumen nodes are for. I have done everything I can think of. Progression, no progression, elemental manipulator, the book, everything. Then there's the cliff farmland, kind of sparkles. And then there's the piezo crystals. But this liquid, this is called ethereal luma. You will need this, document its location. Same with every single pot. Bruh, what? 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 Never mind. That makes no sense. Why is that happening? But yeah, I'll show you where you can find this stuff. I have not been able to find any of the ethereal luma anywhere else other than underground in caves or mine shafts underneath the luminous cliffs biome. Stepping in it does give you a progression. It doesn't yield any info fragments though. But I have found some, so I don't know what's up with these trapdoors here. But I will go underground here. So you can see I have just found some here. So you can see there's some piezo crystals here, some endrized rock, but you can see there's just some stuff here. I did not place these here. These were naturally here. I did kind of venture around this cave a bit more, and it has yielded me some more of the stuff. So stepping in the stuff actually gives you a special thing called void gaze, which right now all it lets you do is see locations of pylons and stuff like that. So you can see there's the pylon up there, there's a farther pylon, and there's another farther pylon. But other than that, the void gaze at this point will not do anything. But at some point, the void gaze will get high enough that you can see through the ground into the void. But you can see some more piezo crystals just around. You can see the luma fog spawns in here. Fire vent, but the piezo crystals are all over here. Even these things still drop the. Here's the luma fog. But you can see these the underground caves. You definitely want to go down there. I am looking for something and I can't find it. Where is it? I found some more ethereal luma in this cave. Aha, it was down here. There it is. So there is these glowing vines around here. This is not ChromatiCraft stuff. This is from Geostrata. I did a review on that mod on my channel. But you can see the stuff can be just kind of found in pools. Yeah. So that is that. Back to the cliffs. So, yep. So that's the ethereal luma. You will need it. Mark its location. Same with pylons. If you have your pylons, you will have to go out and find one of every color, but that's something for the next episode. I'm just looking at the list I have here, and I'm just about halfway. So, you know, I think I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video because this video is getting up quite a bit long. I've been recording for an hour and 20 minutes now, so It's a bit long. So I'm going to end this episode here, and I will very quickly release a I'll probably release them right after each other. These the second part to this to the Worldgen, because I'm only half down my list. Yeah, in the next episode I'm going to be covering structures and some other things, such as some things that spawn in villages, the warp nodes, artifacts, and the data node. So, yeah. So the next episode won't cover the stuff I said earlier. It's going to be on more Worldgen, but episode 3 will have stuff such as crafting and whatnot. But yeah, if anyone can tell me what that sound means, then please do. Yep, so that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you watched all the way to the end, and hopefully you watch the next episode. Okay, so this is kind of just something I want to put in the end of the video, but for the thumbnail of the video, you may have noticed that I did use the colored lights mod, but these things don't actually, these lumen roots don't actually glow that color. They glow this color. But I decided to fix that over here. So what I did was, behind all of them, I snuck away little pieces of colored glowstone. So I put yellow glowstone in the trees with the lighted leaves. The blue glowstone is actually underneath here. So just kind of a little thing I wanted to put in the end of the video, because when I put Optifine back in, and take out the colored lights mod, of course it's going to delete all of the little glowstone pieces I spent 2 hours putting in. So yep.